Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are getting right into the first full weekly reading of January 2020. And this is of course going to be for January 5th until the 11th for the sign of Aries. So let's get right into it. We're going to pull out your romance angel messages for the week. And if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and taking a look. The drill for the weeklies is that we pull out 3 romance angel messages, then we'll pull out 3 animal spirits for you, and then we'll get right into a series of forecasts that you may or may not resonate with, and that's fine. Go ahead and check out the links to your other readings. Your monthly love reading for January and your 2020 outlooks are all in the top of the description. All right, guys. Let's see what is up this week, January 5th to the 11th, for the lovely sign of Aries. Show me. We always cut with the left hand. Somebody asked me in one of the comments, why do we cut with the left hand? Because the left hand is the receiving hand. If you're left-handed, if you're right-handed, of course, if you're left-handed, you will cut with your right hand. All right, guys, stay optimistic about your love life. Nice. Release your ex. Time to clear that energy out, right? And we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Very nice. So we won't really know what that all means for your week until we pull out your other cards. So let's go right into your animal spirits. And animal spirits can represent energies becoming available to you. They can represent stages in your life that you're entering into. They can also represent characteristics or personality traits of people that you may be dealing with in your life, right? And again, just take whatever resonates with you, and that's, and if it doesn't, apply to you, just let it go. It's not for you. Here we go. The bee. My regulars already know why I'm giggling, because of course the bee is a regular player and quite frankly always shows up in that first position. The stingray, water energy. Of course the bee is air energy. And we have the raccoon, the lovely earth elemental animal spirit of the raccoon, associated with a great amount of skill and talent. So let's review your animal spirits and then we'll get right into your spread. So the bee, I always giggle when the bee shows up because this is definitely one of my regular players for my readings, of course, Air energy, the bee brings with it an enormous amount of creative energy. The bee is extremely hardworking. This is the animal spirit associated with democracy, right? The great Democrat. The bee is always making sure that everyone at the party is enjoying themselves, They're the ones that are going around, buzzing around, making sure that their friends are getting along. The bee is the person that people will go to mediate as well. But mostly, the bee brings a really huge amount of energy and enthusiasm and creativity to any kind of group project, to any kind of event, project, endeavor, etc. that involves a group or friends, right? Because the bee works so well in that capacity. Everybody loves to be around the person who resonates with bee energy. Now, the stingray is a water elemental animal spirit, and the stingray talks about developing self-esteem, right? A spine, right? You can see the creative colors there, the rainbow going up and down the spine of the stingray. And so in this way, the stingray is very, very closely aligned with, on an emotional level, since it is a water element, it's aligned with the feeling of being confident within your feelings, right? Knowing that your feelings are valid, right? And not needing anyone else to validate your feelings, finding a deeper sense of sort of confidence within yourself to be able to express yourself creatively, and so really standing up for yourself. And this is quite interesting because it's come out over release your ex. So it could very well be that some of you Aries this week are really developing that kind of sense of self in a way that, Perhaps it's time to release that ex because you know your feelings are valid, and you know how to take that energy and sort of move forward and away from the past, but to move forward upright, standing upright, even though the stingray swims. Now the raccoon is an earth elemental creature. Raccoon is indeed a really, really nice creature, animal spirit to be around. However, they are very shy. And again, interesting, the stingray would show up because the raccoon is one of these animals that likes to stick to the shadows. They are extremely intelligent and highly sort of talented. Raccoons are associated with musicians, woodworkers, anyone who is able to create something beautiful with their hands, because this is where their talent mostly resides. However, there is this shyness, and there's a little bit of lack of self-confidence in the raccoon. It's oftentimes somebody resonating with this energy is a little bit afraid to show their true talents to the world because they feel it may not be enough. But indeed it is enough, because the raccoon is a very, very strong creature, a very creative creature, and certainly a very practical creature in terms of achieving great sort of feats of talent, like I say, with their hands, and bringing it into the material world. You know, a musician, it's like that creative energy is brought right down to the ground, you know, in terms of playing music or creating something with their hands, like a woodworker. Now let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out 4 spreads for you. And these spreads are forecasts for the week, and they are separate from each other. Separate forecasts. They may not be for the same Aries at all, but you may resonate with a portion of one forecast and a portion of another, or what have you. Whatever applies, that's fine. But if it doesn't apply, let it fly, right? It's not for you. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on for Aries this January 5th to the 11th. Straight out, we have King of Wands, King of Pentacles, wow, and 7 of Pentacles. All right, Aries, some of you, this position is the energy you come into the week with, what you're met with, and how your week rounds out. So some of you are coming into this week with a King of Wands energy. You are being that creative king, right? That creative leader. King of Wands is specifically the king that is associated with being a leader, in the sense that he shows others how to follow their passion, right? He's the leader of the bohemians. He's the leader of the artists, the quirky ones, right? The people out there who follow their passions and their hearts without worrying about what the rest of the world thinks about them, right? The King of Wands is also a master in manifesting his passion in the here and now. Kings are always associated with fire. And of course, King of Wands, here we have fire, right? And so very, very strong aspect. And certainly one that you can resonate with, my fire sign, you know, Aries. And so you're coming into this week with this kind of energy. You may be working on a project right now that you are, in fact, a leader. You may be working as part of a group. Like with this bee energy, you may be resonating with some of that and working part of a group, but you are the leader of the group. You know, you're the one who's sort of pulling everyone together, getting everyone's talents together. And in any case, this is the energy you're coming into the week with. You're met with a King of Pentacles. And I'm going to say this is going to be someone who's very much similar to you. But of course, King of Pentacles is the fire aspect of Earth. This is the person who's a benefactor, an investor, the one who comes in and is oftentimes a mentor in terms of your career or your business, right? The King of Pentacles is also a great manifester, but much more to do with manifesting abundance, finance, manifesting sort of material gain, right? And I think you come across this energy this week. This could be a new person or somebody that you know, but you guys are pretty much going to be working together. Certainly, this is a business reading. or a career reading, some kind of project that you're involved in that may indeed need funding or require someone to step in as an investment, right? For some of you, you may be going out this week giving proposals on a particular endeavor that you're wanting to achieve, and so you're finding the person who wants to work with you on a material level. You round the week off with 7 of Pentacles, which is a reevaluation of the rewards that are beginning to come in, right? And so this meeting with this King of Pentacles, I think, is definitely going to be is the impetus for why you are reevaluating, right? You could be saying to yourself, well, look, I've gotten this far on my own. This is the fruit of my labor, but let me reevaluate. Is this really what I want? And how far can I get now that I have sort of a partner in crime, right? Now that I have the perfect sort of partner to help me sort of perhaps financially support what I'm trying to do. Maybe I should renegotiate the goalpost or reevaluate what my ultimate goal is here, because now I have someone in my corner who's just at the same level as I am in terms of achievement and notoriety, perhaps respect. Of course, the kings are oftentimes much respected because they have a track record for success. But indeed, this connection with this King of Pentacles for you is definitely making you reevaluate your goals and objectives and maybe raise the bar a little bit for yourself, right? 7 of Wands, Hanged Man, 10 of Pentacles. Some of you are coming in this week with a 7 of Wands energy. You've been fighting for a very long time. And I want to say creatively, right? 7 of Wands is very much David and Goliath, 7 is the number for your dreams and wishes, hopes and aspirations. But here you've been finding obstacles constantly coming up, and you oftentimes find yourself battling, having to constantly come up with creative solutions. 7 of Wands is the number for is the card for valor also. So it's bravery. It's the bravery to keep seeking your objective, to keep going, to keep fighting. No matter how many times there's a roadblock that comes in, you're ready to sort of attack it. And remember, the wands are not swords, so we're not talking about attacking in that sense, but we're talking about using all of your creative energies to sort of find a way over. This is why the figure is dressed in green, because it's all about constantly coming up with creative solutions. You're met with a Hanged Man energy. And Hanged Man energy is quite interesting. It's really all about awakening. Oftentimes this card is really one of the most misinterpreted cards, because oftentimes it's looked at as someone who's stuck, right? Because of the way the figure looks there. But the truth of the matter is that the Hanged Man is all about awakening. Awakening out of a slumber almost, right? Oftentimes it takes inspiration. In fact, it only takes inspiration to wake up the Hanged Man, A lot of times Hanged Man energy, the energy that brings you into this state where you were before the awakening is kind of a laissez-faire attitude. Oftentimes the hangman didn't want to move. He didn't feel inspired. He didn't feel like making much of an effort. It's not that he's stuck. It's just that he didn't care enough, right? And so taking the easy road rather than maybe taking the risk. However, once the hangman shows up in a reading, it is always the same. It means that you're having a huge awakening, a huge understanding about yourself and what motivates you, and certainly an awakening to a path in your life that you wish to put your best effort into, that you wish to put more of yourself into, right? And so this happens this week. There may be some kind of event that comes in this week that precipitates this awakening. You round off your week with a 10 of Pentacles. It's quite interesting because 10 of Pentacles, of course, is completion. But it's completion in the sense that you've achieved a certain amount of rewards and wealth, but now the completion is the wealth of friendship, the wealth of a love connection, of a happy home life. A home life that is, of course, supported by the abundance you've achieved, by the wealth that you've achieved, which would be the 9 of Pentacles. But that last little ingredient that brings us to a true completion, a wholeness in our wealth, is a love connection, a friendship connection, a strong familial bonds, right? And so it could very well be that you wake up this week to the need to foster deeper bonds with people, to foster deeper bonds with your family, perhaps, right? It doesn't really feel so much like a love connection per se, but more or less that you, this Hangman energy, you know, you may have been quite alone here with the 7 of Wands, feeling quite alone. And something has happened this week that wakes you up to the fact that maybe you aren't that alone. And it wakes you up to the fact that you do have blessings in your life in the form of support, of family support. This could even feel like after the holidays, for some of you may have gotten in contact with long-lost relatives, members of the family that you didn't know existed, and now you realize they're there. And your family has just overnight grown, and the amount of love in the household has grown. And all of this has been as a result of this awakening that occurs because of some event this week with this Hangman energy. Very nice indeed. Knight of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, some of you are coming into this week with Knight of Wands energy, and Knight of Wands energy is very, very sort of forward moving in the sense of going after a particular goal, right? A particular idea or vision, endeavor that you have, certainly something that you feel strongly about. The Knight of Wands is extremely idealistic. He moves for a cause, his cause, right? And he really doesn't go after anything unless his heart is in it. And so this week, there is some cause or some part of your life that you are championing. You know what I mean? I have difficulty, you know, pronouncing some of these words, championing, in the sense that you are the one who wants to sort of push your cause forward, right? You're, you know, even if it isn't your cause, even if it's somebody else's cause, it's like you're the great motivator. You're the great cheerleader, right? You're extremely enthusiastic and you're very idealistic about it. Nothing's really going to stop you, and you have this real forward momentum. Knights are always associated with air, and so with Knight of Wands, we have the airy aspect of fire, and so the Knight of Wands is also the person who's going to be able to communicate his ideas, his passions, right? He's going to be the one who whips people up into sort of excitement, you know. He's the one who gets everybody on his side. And so in any case, this is what you come into this week with. You're met with a 3 of Pentacles, which is an increase in working in your career, right? You're really sort of, this, of course, is the energy that you're bringing. If you're met with a 3 of Pentacles, it could very well be that this is definitely associated to something that is to do with your career, your business, where you make your money, where you make your sort of abundance that you survive on, right? And so this enthusiasm that you're bringing, it's contagious, you know, and it's working because 3 of Pentacles very much indicates that people are taking notice of your work. People are wanting to seek you out for your skills in your career, seek your advice, seek to have you on their team. It can also sometimes be an indication of those of you who are artists, but you make your money from your art. You may be having people coming into your life commissioning you this week for your work, right? And it feels really good because you've been putting your mind, body, and soul into your career, which is also part of that 3 of Pentacles. Now you round off your week with a Queen of Pentacles, and that's quite nice in the sense that this enthusiasm and this increase in working with others that happens this week puts you in a really good position with Queen of Pentacles, in a higher sort of authoritative position, and a sort of higher position. It's almost as if, how shall I put it? It's almost as if this enthusiasm, this passionate enthusiasm, combined with the craftsmanship and the mastery that you've achieved, right? And the ability to keep working at your task It's put you into a place where Queen of Pentacles, she has huge rewards that come in. You know, she is one with her career. And it could be that you may have been working along a particular career path that up until now was kind of, yes, you loved it, right? But it was kind of like just work, you know, just working along, right? Some kind of way, this enthusiasm, this infusion of Knight of Wands energy has you kind of putting your whole heart into it now, because the Queen is water. Queens are always associated with water, and here we have the watery aspect of Pentacles, right, of Earth. And so the Queen puts her heart into her job. She puts her heart into trying to manifest her material gain. This is why she is in the garden of her own making. The Queen is the one who comes from nothing. She comes from barren wasteland, and through her hard work and her heart leading her blood, sweat, and tears, she is able to sort of manifest something. You can see that she's looking at the pentacle as if it is her baby. This is the person who has a business, and the business is their baby. You know what I mean? It's what they truly love. And so I feel like somewhere along the line this week, you find a deeper love for your career, or a deeper love for, you know, your work than you had before as a result of a combination of this energy. This is going to be your last spread. Tower, Lovers. Oh, 5 of Swords. Wow. All right, Tower energy. This week, some of you are coming in this week. Your whole world has been changed upside down. Something has happened before this week that has really caused you to break down your whole idea of yourself. And I'm going to say this is absolutely to do with a love connection. Wow. You know, some idea that you were holding on to about your love connections, about your love life, or maybe about a specific love connection that you have in your life, right, has come to a screeching halt, right? That's what the Tower moment is, right? Some kind of event has happened and really turned everything you thought was the way it was upside down, and nothing is as you thought it was, or is as you thought it should be. And so you're having to really reevaluate your whole stance. You come up against Lover's energy, and this feels very much kind of like a testing phase, right? Is this love connection strong enough to withstand this Tower moment? This could have been some information that became available to you that just changed your whole outlook on something, but can you still survive? Because Lovers definitely talks about the work that's involved whenever we have a love connection, right? You round the week off with a 5 of Swords, and so it's interesting because somewhere along the line you find out that somebody has been really underhanded. You know, you've been in a power struggle with someone who is not playing fairly. And I think that this might be what you're waking up to this week. It could be that you are in a love connection with someone who has, maybe up until now, you know, there was some information you didn't know, but something came to light, and there was like some truth that you found out about someone, right? About this lover in your life. Right. And you find out that by the end of the week, you find out that you don't want this, right? You don't want this kind of power dynamic. 5 of Swords is a number for defeat, is a card for defeat. But not in the sense that you've truly been beaten, but it's kind of the defeat that we experience when we take the high ground. You know, sometimes we take the high ground. We don't win in the traditional sense, but we win in a bigger sense because we choose not to lower ourselves to the level that this person we're engaged with is at. You know, when you're dealing with somebody who's not playing fairly, you know, you can't win. So you can either lower yourself to their tactics and keep battling, right? Or you can say, you know what, I throw my hands up, have your victory, however hollow it is. I'd rather not be involved in this kind of dynamic. And I think that this is the wake-up call that you get about a love connection through this Tower event. Certainly could very well be all about an ex that you've been holding on to, and this is where we have released your ex, finding your backbone, finding your confidence as a result of waking up to some information or some sort of event that kind of wakes you up, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, you know, everything that I thought before, maybe you were holding on to some guilt, or maybe you were holding on to some sort of responsibility or burden that's really lifted in a sense because you were ready to release, ready to have your self-confidence, and certainly taking the high road here. All right, guys, Aries, this is your reading for January 5th to the 11th. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Share the video on your social media platforms. All of that really helps my channel to grow and allows me to continue to give you these videos. If you want to get a private reading, follow the links at the top of your screen. You can also get a tarot answers. I offer tarot answers. That's a 10-minute recorded reading that answers one of your questions. And it's a good way to really sort of check out if you actually want to go for a deeper personal one-on-one reading to see if it's something that really jives with your energy, you know. But for right now, Aries, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you next week. Bye-bye now.